Beyond Two Souls was a game published and developed by Quantic Dream, and it was released on PS3 in October of 2013 and remastered for the PS4 in December of 2018. I personally only ever got to play a couple missions on the PS3 version when it first released. I just didn't have the time back then. And just now I finally played through Beyond Two Souls, the remastered on PS4. The best things I can say about Beyond Two Souls: graphics are outstanding. Story, the narrative, the storytelling, and direction are mostly outstanding. We'll get to that. The performances are the best part about this whole entire game. It stars Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe. Ellen Page plays Jodie, and basically she has an interdimensional ghost that keeps track of her from the inside of her soul and helps her out when she's in predicaments, and that plays a huge part in the story. Willem Dafoe's character is basically her surrogate father slash mentor. He was kind of handed her when she was a little kid, a little girl, and it was after events transpired and her parents basically just didn't want her anymore. So moving on, the story is outstanding. It's well written. The direction is well done. Storytelling, like I said, mostly outstanding. We'll get to the negatives later. But I don't really have that many bad gripes to say about this game other than the storytelling, which I will at least admit they patched it up very decently for the remasters. In the storytelling, you can choose either the original storytelling or the remixed. Okay, the difference in the original is it's all over the place. The remixed, it's chronological timeline order. The original order is what I played in, but I still understood the story. The problem is the storytelling gets majorly in the way of the story, of the narrative, by the third act. In the third act, things happen and you're just like, this kind of doesn't add up. And then you have to remember, and it goes back and forth, and you're just like, oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. It gives you some flashbacks, and you're like, okay, that happened. I guess that works. I feel like the remixed version tells a lot better of a story with the same story. The choices are there for you, and I think they're implemented good for the most part. There are times when I was just like, wow, this is a really mundane choice time. Like, for example, your QTEs are placed in a time where you're figuring out math algorithms on a test, on a paper sheet test, and Jodie's writing on it, and it's tasking you to hold L1, hold R1, hold square. Why? Why couldn't this just be a cutscene? Stupid. Otherwise, I mean, that was about the only flaw in the QTE storytelling that I found, honestly. Another big gripe with the storytelling was just the third act in general, just the whole thing. I mean, I appreciated the whole story as a whole. It was a really strong, really compelling story, boosted up by amazing, outstandingly done performances. My problem is just bit of spoilers here, fair warning. Skip, I'd say 20 seconds ahead of here, but what I'll say is the third act just, it goes way too sci-fi-y. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Otherwise, Beyond Two Souls, especially the remaster for me, is a very, very well done, well thought out game. I will say that, very, very well thought out remaster. Okay, most times when they remaster a game, they basically just give you the same exact game with upgraded visuals and audio. Here, you can at least tell they went inside and tweaked it, at least for the story. Okay, the storytelling is different. And not just that, they don't just force one specific storytelling at you. They give you both options, either the original or the remixed chronological timeline order. I find that to be very, very compelling and very well done for remastering a game. And I appreciate that. I will give Quantic Dream and writer-director David Cage nothing but respect for that. So for me, if I played this on PS3, I would probably give this a 7 because the storytelling just isn't fully there. At least for the PS3 version, the last gen versions, the storytelling it just wasn't there without the option. But the remaster, it still has its storytelling, but it also gives you the alternative option of the remix. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate the graphics. And I definitely appreciate the performances. I appreciate some unpredictability within the story. I appreciate most of the QTEs and most of the choices. Another thing that I have to say about the story as a whole too is it's really uneven. Most missions, they're like, 17 missions, something like that. And there's only like one mission where it's like a 2-hour mission. Otherwise, they span from 5 to 30 minutes. Not even kidding. There's one mission that's about 2 hours long if you play it just going through the story. But otherwise, all of the other missions are between 5 to 30 minutes. That's just a bit of an imbalance for me. But it is what it is. It's still a really strong story. So for me, Beyond Two Souls Remaster for PS4 is a 9 out of 10. Thank you.